Pandita Ramabai Saraswati was born in a Maharashtrian Brahmin family. She was a social reformer, an educationist, a philanthropist, and overall, she was the first feminist of India. Her parents were extremely religious persons. They imparted religious education to Ramabai and her brother Srinivas from very early age in Sanskrit. They wanted Ramabai to be a religious leader. They tried to ignite the light of spiritualism in the hearts of Ramabai and her brother. Ramabai was not given marriage at a very early age. In this sense, their parents opposed the prevailing patriarchal norms and principles of early marriage to a young daughter. Ramabai and her brother were given religious educations in Hindu Shastras and Puranic tales. But unfortunately, she lost her parents at the age of 16. It was unbelievable for a woman remaining unmarried in a Hindu society. So Ramabai was left alone in the world of patriarchy at the age of 16, and she started her religious journey throughout India after her parents' death. Ramabai started her lecture sessions from the central provinces, and he went to various parts of India giving spiritual lectures in Hindu Puranic tales and scriptures. In 1878, she went to Calcutta with her brother Srinivas. They stayed there for 1 year. She met Sanskrit and Hindu Pandits in Calcutta who were so impressed by Ramabai's lectures that they conferred the title of Pandita and Saraswati on Ramabai. Ramabai was regarded as Pandita Ramabai Saraswati after her visit in Calcutta. She had given regular lectures to the gatherings in Calcutta. She was asked to give a lecture to the Parda women and their duties as framed by Hindu laws and scriptures. She took time to give the lecture. She studied Hindu scriptures in details, but she didn't study Vedas and Upanishads. She only studied the Hindu Puranic tales and Hindu laws and scriptures. There she found a very glaring discrimination against women in Hindu practices. She was very confused and she was disappointed and she was losing faith in Hindu practices and rituals from this understanding that Hindu laws were not helpful to the fallen women and the widows of Hindu society. She found that the scriptures and their understandings were not monolithic. There were various interpretations on various issues. But on the question of women, the sermons were monolithic. That a woman should be subservient to her husband even if the husband is a worse sinner and a criminal. She should accept her husband as a god. And if she doesn't accept her husband as a god, she would be treated as a fallen woman and should be ostracized from the Hindu society. After reading these lines in Hindu laws, Ramabai was extremely disappointed as a Hindu religious leader. Ramabai found that not only the women but also the Shudras were not allowed to read Vedas and Upanishads. women were asked to serve their husbands, and women were asked to hold their husbands as gods. And if they did this, after their death, they would be given the birth of a man, and after that, they would get the right to read Vedas and Upanishads. This was extremely discriminatory on the part of women. Ramabai found that the same sermons were given to treat the Shudras in the society. Ramabai found that these practices in the scriptures were meant for only the high caste Hindu women. The lower caste women were enjoying the freedom, they were doing whatever they like, but the high caste Hindu women were supposed to be given early marriage, and they were supposed to serve their husbands, and they were supposed to be loyal to the extreme possible way to their husbands in order to gain a good birth of a man. Ramabai was of the opinion that this particular gesture of the Hindu laws and scriptures against women was extremely derogatory and was against individual freedom and self-will, which she wanted to enjoy. She even found it very derogatory for the Shudras as well. So a revolt was gaining strength in her heart, and at this juncture she met famous social reformer Keshav Chandra Sen in his Calcutta residence. Keshav Sen was a religious leader. He was the leader of the Brahma Dharma, and he met Ramabai and accepted her in a very cozy manner. His family also behaved with Ramabai in a very good way, and Ramabai was very much influenced by their behavioral patterns. Keshav Sen asked Ramabai whether she had read Vedas and Upanishads. Ramabai said that a woman was not supposed to read Vedas and Upanishads. Keshav Sen smiled at her, and he said that she should read Vedas and Upanishads after coming to a drastic conclusion regarding Hinduism and Brahmanical patterns. Ramabai agreed to this view, and she started to read Vedas and Upanishads. But unfortunately, she lost her brother Srinivas. Again, she was left alone in Calcutta, and she married a Shudra man, a Bengali man from Calcutta at the age of 22. She went to Silchar, Assam, and stayed there with her husband for 2 years. They had given birth to a baby daughter, and after 2 years, at the age of 24, Ramabai's husband died of cholera. A very unfortunate incident had again happened in the life of Ramabai. She was again left alone in the world of patriarchy. Now she became a Hindu widow, which she didn't want to become. She wanted to avoid the ruthless practices induced on a Hindu widow from the very beginning of her journey. Now she had to face the life straight and had to fight it back. She didn't want to fight it back within the Hindu fold and didn't want to practice the Hindu rituals of a widow. She became restless and she went to Pune with her baby daughter. There she came in contact with the Christian missionaries. One Miss Harford imparted Christian teachings on her, and she found that these teachings were quite different from those of the Hindu scriptures and Hindu laws. Hindu laws wanted a widow to follow a very tedious path, but Ramabai wanted to live as an individual. She wanted to preach religious teachings. She wanted to study philosophical books. She wanted to be educated. She didn't know English at that time. Miss Harford taught her the English language, and she taught her the basic teachings of Christianity. And with the help of Miss Harford, Ramabai went to England. There she came in contact with the Sisters of Wantage, who imparted on her the teachings of secular political philosophy as well as religious practices of Christianity. Ramabai found that there was a steady departure from the Hindu practices in the Christian laws and practices. Women were not being treated in the same fashion as they were treated in the Hindu laws. Women were given freedom, even widows were given freedom, and the fallen, so-called fallen women of the society, they were given freedom. This sort of teaching was regarded by Ramabai as a path to emancipation. She accepted Christ, not Christianity at large. She accepted the religion of Christianity as a religion for emancipation. She accepted the teachings of Christ, and she was bewildered by Jesus Christ's treatment to the fallen women. She was highly impressed by Christ's attitude towards so-called fallen women, so-called outcast people. She was influenced by the social behavioral patterns of the Christian leaders who did not try to give a very tedious path for Ramabai. Ramabai was baptized, but the individual soul of Ramabai wanted Christ, not merely his religion. She was the first feminist in the history of feminism who changed her religion. She changed her belief not to theorize patriarchy, but to face patriarchy from an institutionalized point of view. She had seen, she had experienced patriarchy of the Hindu society. She had seen the conditions of the widows. She had seen the conditions of the fallen women of the Hindu society. And she had also seen the behavioral patterns of the religious leaders of Christianity to the women at large. She found a difference between these practices, and she wanted to be baptized, and she wanted to use the institutional practices of Christianity to treat the widows and to treat the fallen women. It is extremely intriguing because most feminist leaders in the world, they have regarded religion as an obstacle for the women's emancipation. They have regarded religion as an obscurantist path against emancipation. At the same time, the pacifists, they have held religion responsible for different clashes and conflicts and even civil wars. And world wars. The pacifists have said that religion could not reduce the tensions in the society. So, it is extremely intriguing on our part to view Ramabai's gesture regarding Christianity, Hinduism, and other religious beliefs. It is very interesting to note that being a feminist, being a very loud voice against patriarchy, Ramabai took religion as a resort to deal with patriarchy. It is understandable that the period in which Ramabai was working forced her to accept a kind of religious training, and she had to accept the rules and modalities of a religious belief in order to build up a counter voice against the patriarchal hegemonic practices of the Hindu scriptures and Hindu high caste beliefs. Ramabai was somehow forced to accept Christianity, and she was very cautious in this regard. She had written in her testimony that she was just experimenting with the religions. She had been born in a Hindu society. She was by birth a high caste Hindu woman. She had experienced the plight of a Hindu woman, and she also had experienced the behaviors that she received from the Christian leaders. She was experimenting with both the religious beliefs, and as a result, she initiated Sharada Mission in Bombay in the year 1889 as a part of her larger Mukti Mission. And she was very cautious in this regard, that she was experimenting with religious beliefs. She remained herself as a Christian, but she did not allow other members to change their religious beliefs. After the great famine in the central provinces, she visited the areas affected by the famine, and she rescued almost 60 girls from famine affected areas. And she rescued these girls and took these girls to her Sharada mission. But these girls were not given that training that they would change their religion. They practiced their own religious beliefs, and Ramabai practiced her own. But there was a difference between two practices. But Ramabai never allowed anyone to compel the girls to convert to Christianity. The primary aim of the Mukti Mission was to give shelter to the helpless girls. Again, Mukti Mission was built up to impart professional training to these girls in order to develop their earning capabilities. Ramabai was of the opinion that only imparting education was not enough. The girls should be trained to earn. Ramabai believed that if we say that women should get independence means nothing. Ramabai was of the opinion that if we say that women should get education means nothing. Ramabai was of the opinion that women should get economic independence first. And in order to gain economic independence, women should get proper training, and this professional training would enable them to earn their livelihood. Ramabai was of the opinion that without economic independence, freedom meant nothing. She was the first feminist in the 19th century scenario who uttered the words of economic independence of the women. The social reformers like Vidyasagar, like Ram Mohan Roy, they were all eager to ameliorate the condition of the women. But Ramabai was not confined within the restrictions of educational benefits. She had expanded her vision, and she was of the opinion that the women should be given the proper professional training in order to earn. Ramabai highlighted the condition of working class women. Ramabai said that this practice of early marriage and the practice of hegemony of the patriarchy was not written in the philosophical, polemical cross-currents of Hindu Shastras. It was not written in the philosophical part of the Hindu scriptures. Actually, the Hindu customs compelled the high caste women to get married at a very early age. Their family members compelled them to get married at a very early age. Ramabai said that Hindu women should give an education in order to earn, and she highlighted the cause and the freedom enjoyed by the working class women. In this sense, Ramabai was not only the first feminist of India, she was the first socialist thinker of India. Ramabai said that at no cost individual self-will should be given to the male folk and should be given to the hegemony of patriarchal norms and rules and regulations. Ramabai was all for women's emancipation in terms of their professional skills, in terms of their earning capabilities, in terms of their better livelihood. She was not only a social thinker, she was not only a lazy academician or a critic of patriarchy, a simple writer. She was a social activist. She experienced patriarchy in her life, and she transformed herself into a social worker with an intellectual bent of mind. For this reason, Ramabai is regarded as the first feminist thinker of South Asia. Thank you.